House Bill 2415 modifies various regulations relating to kratom products. Specifically, the bill adds various substances to the statutory list of narcotic drugs, including synthetic 7-hydroxymetrogenine, commonly referred to as 7-OH, pseudoindoxil, and any compound that exceeds 800 parts per million of 7-OH. The bill makes it so that a person must be at least 21 years old to purchase kratom products instead of 18. It prohibits kratom products from being marketed or advertised in a manner appealing to persons under 21, and it increases penalties associated with selling to underage persons. The bill also modifies the labeling requirements for kratom products, and with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go right ahead.
Thank you. Zach, is there anything in this that would address Health and Human Services at the federal level if they put this on a prohibited narcotic list, that somehow the state of Arizona would come into conformity, or is there, I didn't see anything in the bill about that?
Mr. Vice and Senator Fincham, I didn't see anything specifically outlined for that either. I'm not sure what the interplay would be if we need to expressly state that in the bill, but it's not in there currently, to my knowledge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Vice,
Yes.
we have a lot of people that are signed in, so
All right.
I want to find out who
Yeah.
from each side and pick 3 and 3.
If you are here to speak for the bill, then come on this side of the room by the railing. If you are here to speak against the bill, go to this side against the railing. Yeah. What is this side for? I forget. Let's see. Okay. All right. We're gonna do 3 and 3. So why don't you folks over there, why don't you step outside real quick and figure out which 3 of you will talk, and how many we got on this side? All right, pick 3. Each side, you can stay in the middle. Each side pick 3. Yeah, that's right. And if you don't have 3 people lined up here in 60 seconds, then don't worry about it. You only have to pick 2. Got 3 here? Okay, all right.
Tick-tock.
Yeah, okay. All right, why don't you begin? Okay. 90 seconds.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, my name is Matt Caddo. I'm with the American Kratom Association. In 2019, Arizona took an important first step in protecting consumers by enacting the Kratom Consumer Protection Act, which defined and regulated products. In 2024, and now published in a peer-reviewed publication, the FDA published a dose-finding study that validated the importance of the actual safety for consumers by determining that there is a human study funded by the FDA that kratom is safe and tolerated at all dose levels. But in September of 2025, the great 7-hydroxymetrogenine or 7-OH con started. It deceived millions of consumers by claiming that 7-OH products that were marketed in a highly concentrated, chemically manipulated fashion were safe and that they were kratom, and they were not. 7-OH was, you will hear testimony that 7-OH was cleared by the DEA in 2016 and 18 because 7-hydroxymetrogenine does occur at natural levels in the kratom products, but not at an unsafe level. That same amount of 7-OH they will claim is converted in the liver.
30
It is,
seconds.
thank you, it is not. I can tell you that is part of the big con. They will tell you that the FAERS database validates that there are no significant adverse events. That is not true. That is not the purpose of the FDA adverse event system. It is to let the FDA determine what is unsafe. And I can tell you now they are marketing sublingual products that hit you like a freight train, and it is unsafe. Today, HHS, FDA, NIDA, and the Arizona AG agree in a bipartisan way
Time.
that this should be banned and regulated properly. Thank you.
Okay. And you stand for or against the bill?
We are for this bill.
Okay, next.
Wait, Madam, Mr.
Okay,
Chair, I have a
questions.
question.
Go ahead.
Sir, because you just said they agree it should be banned and regulated. It sounds like did you mean to say banned or regulated? How could it be banned and regulated?
I'm
Can
sorry,
you
I'm sorry if I confused that.
Yeah,
What I said was HHS, FDA, NIDA, and the Arizona AG all agree that 7-OH should be regulated and not allowed at levels beyond the levels set in the bill of 800 parts per million. I think that equates to about 1 milligram per serving.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, con side.
Mr. Vice Chair and committee members, my name is Terry Blevins. I'm a former Arizona law enforcement officer and federal law enforcement officer, speaker and board member for LEAP Law Enforcement Action Partnership. I worked my entire career protecting communities, and now I advocate for sensible drug laws that actually protect our communities. That's why I must oppose this bill, as it will provide opportunities for bad actors to put dangerous products on the market, and extremely difficult and costly to enforce, especially the testing. The science is still out, and 7-OH, we must not rush into a ban because that's premature. As a street officer, I saw how drug prohibitions don't actually reduce demand, but instead drive consumers to illicit market, which in turn makes our communities much less safe. What I discovered when I got involved in this issue is that it's basically an industry fight between the kratom producers and the 7-OH producers. I also am a consumer of 7-OH. I came back from Iraq with a severe cervical injury, became dependent on opioids, so I can't go anywhere near them anymore. And now I use 7-OH. I tried kratom. There were too many side effects for me. 7-OH is great. I know a lot of veterans and police officers who currently use 7-OH to treat their injuries.
5 seconds.
I oppose this bill, and I would appreciate any future opportunity to be involved as a stakeholder. Thank you.
Questions? No? Okay, no questions. Next. Next, pro side.
Okay. Is this on? Okay. Hi there. Thank you, Chairman. My name is Dr. Michelle Ross. I'm an addiction scientist and the leading researcher in the United States on 7-OH. I strongly oppose HB 2415 and making the kratom alkaloid 7-OH a Schedule I drug. First off, these products are not recreational. 74% of consumers use them for chronic pain, 23% use them for opioid abuse recovery, and 12% use them for alcohol abuse recovery. The average 7-OH product consumer is a college-educated working parent in their mid-40s. 8% of 7-OH consumers are veterans who use this for chronic pain and PTSD. Do we really want to take their last safety net away from them? Making 7-OH Schedule I will leave consumers with 3 options: suffering, street drugs, or suicide. My study of 1,500 7-OH consumers confirms this. 17% said that they would consider suicide if it was banned, and 25% said that they would obtain opioids like fentanyl or heroin from the illicit market, which carry a much higher risk of addiction, overdose, and death. I'm available for questions, but I want to make sure that to acknowledge the stakeholders that aren't able to speak due to the 3-person limitation. These include Cato Institute, ACLU, the Arizona Attorneys for Criminal Justice, and Arizona Pediatricians Group. They all had issues with this bill, and they would like to be involved in stakeholders in this process. So again, I want to urge you to pass regulations. Don't ban 7-OH because, again, they will go to the street and they will die. Unfortunately, overdoses will go up, and the literature supports this. Thank you again. I'm here for questions.
Questions? Next speaker. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chairman, members of the committee, Jim Hurd with Pinal County Sheriff's Office. Wanted to speak to a couple of things. The tests for these products are about $200 a piece at the moment. They can be done. There was a question that had come up I'd heard earlier. The Attorney General's office has crime lab facilities to do it. The Department of Ag can. There is a university in Florida. The way the bill has been constructed is it would allow someone like City of Scottsdale or DPS or someone else who were to purchase the equipment to be able to test, to differentiate between synthetic and the natural. We're not asking this committee or the state to outlaw kratom. What we're asking is to outlaw the synthetic due to the fact that we're still, it is a new product with unknown side effects, because as the speaker said, there are people out there who are getting definite benefit from it, and we understand that, and we're willing to work with them. However, we think that it should be left to the natural substances and not to potentially dangerous synthetics. And with that, I will stand for any questions.
Questions? No questions. Next speaker?
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Senate Judiciary Committee. My name is Dr. Edith Chambers. I'm here as a licensed pharmacist to oppose the effective Schedule I ban on 7-hydroxymetragynine in HB 2415. I support sensible regulation for all natural therapeutics derived from kratom, including metragynine and 7-OH. We should balance the ideals of protecting children and the public while also protecting safe access to the 440,000 of Arizona consumers who rely on kratom and its alkaloids, including 7-OH, to manage pain and overcome addiction. I support existing regulation for kratom in this bill, but I also believe that combining it with 7-OH would be the best course of action. We should even consider amending this bill to keep these items behind the store counter and possibly restrict sales to places that only allow persons who are 21 and over. An immediate ban on 7-OH products would, by contrast, cause immeasurable harm. Kratom and 7-OH are atypical opioids. They are not gas station heroin. It's not the fourth wave of the opioid epidemic. The preponderance of clinical data do not show that 7-OH is a public health threat. For most, including my husband who suffers from chronic pain after a career that took an incredible toll on his body, the use of 7-OH has been geared towards functioning and well-being. 7-OH's low mortality is explained by its pharmacology. It's a partial agonist at the opioid mu receptor, binding with low affinity. It only partially activates the receptor, and it doesn't recruit beta-arrestin, which is the pathway associated with respiratory depression. So, it's safe. As an independent pharmacist who has over the years examined the use and benefit of kratom and 7-OH by the chronic pain community, I urge you to reject prohibition
50
and
seconds.
embrace a responsible regulatory framework for metragynine and 7-OH.
Okay, questions? No questions, thank you. Are there any other speakers? One more? Is he here? Yeah. Okay, oh, there he is. Okay. Thought he was taking a kratom break.
Hiding behind. Go ahead. Members of the committee, Nicholas Clearman from the Arizona Attorney General's office, testifying in support of this bill. I'd like to also note that the Sheriff's Association has signed in support of this bill. Just to clarify, this is not an outright ban on 7-OH products. It is a ban on concentrated 7-OH products, which is consistent with the FDA's current guidance that synthetic and highly concentrated 7-OH products pose a public health hazard. And our results in Arizona are consistent with that. Stats from the Maricopa County Medical Examiner's Office show that in last year, metragynine was associated with 49 deaths. That's more than carfentanil, 31. And likely, and we don't know this necessarily, but that's due to ultra-high concentration doses or synthetic doses where more adverse effects have been noted. There was a comment about testing. I could tell you that we have a strong partnership at the AG's office with DEA. I have successfully sent kratom products to DEA lab to be tested specifically for concentrations of 7-OH. It did not cost the state a dime. We did that with our partnership, and we will be pursuing cases based on some of that testing.
10 seconds.
I'm happy to answer any questions about the bill.
Questions? No questions, thank you.
Thank you.
2557.
No, wait a second. So is there anyone in the room that can talk about the harm of kratom on children and their developing brain and health and all that stuff?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, for the record, my name's Sabrina Vasquez, and I am representing the Arizona chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics. Senator, our doctors are very concerned about that. They do think that there are significant concerns and significant damage that this can do to children if they gain access. It's why we requested that the language about prohibiting advertising to children mirror that of marijuana. We felt that that was appropriate. Unfortunately, the proponents of the bill rejected that. They took a little less than half of the language that we proposed, but we would like to see that strong because it is clear that this can be very damaging to children. We do have a doctor. Unfortunately, he's not able to get here till 5 p.m. But he could specifically talk to the damages that he's seen with this substance on children in the emergency room.
Vice Chair Kavanaugh, Sabrina, I saw a different version of this bill in the Senate, but it didn't really get a hearing, and they were talking about selling the product from behind the counter. Does this bill actually do that?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Bullock, this bill does not, and we would like to see that. We think that's appropriate. We do that with tobacco. We do that with nicotine. My understanding is this substance can come in very small packages, easy to carry out of a gas station without someone noticing. So we think it is appropriate to put it behind the counter. Unfortunately, they did not accept that amendment as well.
So looking at this bill, my time is up, sorry. Looking at this bill, this seems to restrict the sale of kratom more. If passed, there would be more restrictions on kratom than if not passed. Is that correct?
Yes, and so what we were hoping, I believe that's raising the age to 21.
Yeah, and the products and.
Which we agree, there is some language in there about not advertising to children.
Packaging.
We do not believe it's strong enough. We believe it should mirror
Right.
what we did for marijuana.
No, I understand. I guess what I'm saying is, so this bill goes in the right direction as far as you're concerned, but not far enough.
Correct. We do not believe it goes far enough.
So-
I think our doctors would like to see an all-out ban. That didn't get through, but without that, we would like to see some additional regulation, which is why we offered amendments.
Okay.
And so we're also, sorry, Senator.
No. So just to be clear, you want to see this bill go further. You don't support this bill, although with your fingers crossed, you're saying if you can't get the amendments on in the committee of the whole, then pass it because it does bring us in the right direction. Is that fair?
Mr. Chairman, Senator, kind of fair. So I think one thing we are really concerned about is this idea that there's going to be strong enough protections in there to prohibit advertising to children. We are concerned about the fact that there is a veil that it is sort of doing that. And so if people are going to feel comfortable with what's going to be in statute, but it's not going far enough. We agree that what's going on right now and the way that it's getting sold right now is also not good.
We have a saying at the legislature, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
We understand, Senator Fincham, Senator Kavanaugh, we understand that. We are hoping we have enough support to get some additional language on there to make it clear that we are not allowing advertising to children. In addition, one of the things that we are concerned about is that this bill, we feel like there needs to be a conditional repeal on this bill to say that if at the federal level, if they decide that kratom should be illegal, like they have done with Delta 8, that then will override any gray regulatory structure that might exist in Arizona to allow it to possibly continue to be sold here. So we would also like to see that.
And I suspect you know this, but just to be clear, if you advocate that we vote no in this committee, this bill dies, and the restrictions contained in this bill, which you like, will disappear.
Mr. Chairman, Senator, we do understand that. We would hope we would get another opportunity, maybe not this session, but we would hope that there would be another opportunity to actually get some real legislation that does truly protect children, like I believe this body would like to see.
And would you also hope that we pass this out of this committee, and you have a week or two to talk to the sponsor and have an amendment put in the committee of the whole?
Madam Chairwoman, Senator Kavanaugh, yes, I think that would be great if we could get that. assurance that we can work on that moving forward.
Always an assurance you can work on it. Whether it'll be successful, of course, is beyond my power. And the chair is
I
back,
appreciate that.
so we can vote on this if you want.
Okay. Move 2415.
I move House Bill 2415 receive a due pass recommendation, and that's it.
Call the roll.
Pass.
Madam Chair, I'd like to explain my vote. Thank you, Madam Chair. One of the things that has not come up is a finding in the United States Navy. In a recent communication dated January of this year, Section 2 of that finding was the Food and Drug Administration has not federally regulated cardamom midagrane or 7-hydroxymidagrane. Unregulated products may contain labeling inaccuracies such as the product ingredients or concentrations resulting in increased health and safety risks. It goes on to find that the drug poses serious health risk for everything from tachycardia to up to and including death. So I think one of the things that if we don't get our heads wrapped around at least part of this, we've got a public health risk that goes unregulated. I know it was characterized that this is a squabble between the synthetic and the non-synthetics. At the end of the day, anytime we are not on the ball with this, something like this, it really caused me grave concern. And the fact that the Attorney General has actually stepped in and supported this bill. So that I'm an aye.
May I explain my vote?
Yes.
Thank you. I think to be able to regulate and in some way control these types of drugs is important. And I only say that because we have children out there who are easily impressionable, and then they, many of them are out there, they turn to peer pressure. And so I am aware of some young children who had consumed this product, and because of that, they have lost their life. And so I think it's great that we had this conversation earlier on putting some verbiage in there to put it behind the counter and making sure that children, young adults are not having access to them. I think it's very important. So that's something that would be important to me. And, you know, if those types of conversations take place, I could be a yes on the floor, but for now, I don't support this bill because of that. So my vote is no.
Thank you. May I explain my vote?
Yes.
I guess I'm supporting the bill, but in some ways for the same reasons. I would like to see that the AG's office and the sponsor work to improve protections, really increase the protections for children. I think it seems like there might be room for that. I'm hopeful that there is. And with that, I vote aye.
No.
Madam Chairman, I'd love to explain my vote.
Go ahead.
We obviously heard some testimony today, and thankfully there was someone in the room who wanted to actually talk about what Kratom would be for kids. You know, we always try to figure out ways to protect public safety, right? Government exists, in my opinion, to protect public safety. A couple weeks ago, we heard a different bill, and I read some testimony. I will not read the one testimony from the guy who lost his kid to kratom death, but I will put back into the record that DPS currently actually doesn't have the best way to test kratom. They believe it's a qualitative testing. They don't actually have everything that they would potentially need to find out if it was synthetic or not. Knowing that we had another bill over in the Senate that wasn't heard, where we were going to put the product behind the counter, I don't understand why it's not in this bill, because I had heard that at some point it was potentially going to be in this bill. I still don't feel like the labeling is going to be up to snuff in this bill. I just don't feel like this current version's ready for prime time. Someone know.
Senator Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Senator Rogers.
Aye.
4 ayes, 3 no, 0 not voting.
By our vote of 4 ayes, 3 noes, and 0 not voting, we have given HB 2415 a due pass recommendation. Okay, before proceeding, Representative Willoughby, we've made you wait like 5 hours, right?
No, we did the bill, I was just back for the vote count.
Oh,
Thanks a lot.
I had no idea that you actually, anybody in their sane mind would stay here for no necessary reason.
Just, we're so
It's
entertaining.
our appropriations, so
We're,
I'm here.
we're much more entertaining. Okay, give me a second. We should, from my tally here, be ready for HB 2557.
Are we going to go back and vote these other ones?
Okay, we'll vote these other ones.
2028?
Let me get my script here. Okay, move 2028, please.